Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with me, Jody Misiak. I'm running a little late. I apologize if you've been waiting and for watching. Um, this is what happens when I don't set up the night before and make sure everything's running. Anyways, grab your coffee or tea. I am super excited to be here with you today. I'm also a little nervous because it's the first time in a very long time that I've gone live. I think close to 4, maybe 3 years ago. And I'm going to share all about that. So get comfy and let's chat. Now, um, first off, I want to just share that if you are live and you want to have ask me questions or say hi, awesome. I'll try to keep looking at the chat, but at the same time, so my video is flowing, I'm going to share a few things and then later I will open up the floor for questions and say hi to everybody, just so I don't feel like I'm a squirrel hiding nuts. Like I'm here, and all over the place. So just for my own sanity and just so I don't lose my train of thought, that is what I'm going to do. I am drinking green tea today because I'm still recovering a little bit. I have just a little bit of a cough still. So it's green tea all the way for me today. One of those blooming flower ones. So anyways, I parted my hair the wrong way today. This is me live. Here I am. I hope everything's working on the end. I just realized as I'm getting ready that I didn't link my YouTube channel to my website in case people are having a hard time. So I apologize if you're there and it's not showing up. I had all these plans to test run lots of things, and our school year has just not been very smooth sailing. So we just have lots of cold going on in this house. School's been a challenging year so far. So anyways, I could go on and on about that, but I'm not going to. So I want to share a little bit about where I've been, what has been going on. It started with, I believe my son was still home and I just had a hard time finding, the balance between being a mom and doing coffee chat and then running here. For me, I'd like to do coffee chat in the mornings because, well, it's coffee chat and I don't drink coffee past 2. So I'd be drinking water. The other thing is, like, I'm not a morning person and I do a really big morning routine. So that's why I'm coming at like 11 because I need to, or I want to. It's not I need to. Well, I do because I'm better off when I'm, done my yoga practice, worked out, meditated, did some tapping and things like that. So I just feel better. However, anyways, I think it started with that and I just stopped going live because it was so stressful. And then eventually I was doing recordings of coffee chat and it kind of lost its chatting side of things. I apologize, people. This is what happens when you're live. So it lost its chatting effect, right? No one could chat while I'm live and we could share and talk back and forth. So I just kind of stopped it. And that was one of the reasons. And I probably could have went live again, but it was just so much easier not to. But then that's also when I started getting tired and not knowing why. And my body was really hurting. And I'm not going to go too much into this because I've shared it numerous times already. But I just discovered working with my naturopath it was months till we figured it out. But I had overgrowth of candida, so yeast, in my gut. So instead of a yeast infection, it was like an infection in my gut. And it just made me tired. So any sugar would just feed it and make me more tired. So really the first time came in December, like after December. And that's where I really felt it because we're eating sweets and things like that. And stress is really impacting it. So these past few years, I've really just focused inward on myself to just kind of figure out what my body really needs to heal my body. But at the same time, and this is where self-love really is a journey, I looked at myself in the mirror. Actually, I would and I wouldn't. But I didn't feel like myself because the candida affected my mood, my personality, and then it made me feel like garbage. It also made me gain a lot of weight, like the scale. Now we've talked about scale, so this is me just sharing. So there's lots to unpack here, and over the weeks we can talk more about this. But I just kept gaining weight. And I'd be working out and eating really well, even eliminating sugar. So it was this battle between mindset and really just having to love myself more in that moment, being okay with being exhausted and taking a day off. So these past few years, I've really focused on not planning too much ahead because I didn't know how I'd feel. Now, I feel like I'm coming out the other end of things in a somewhat graceful way. I've learned a lot, but at the same time, I'm coming off a summer break with my kids, and I did really well the first half. My word, if you're in the BU community room, I share every month, like setting intentions and things like that. And I kept it really simple this summer. And in July, it was pick a word to focus on. And mine was balance. And I did really good. I would start hanging with the kids more and be like, whoa, I need some me time. And then I'd be like, okay, I'd talk to my husband, like, hey, how can I get this? I need this. Like, how can we do this? But then my mother-in-law visited and we worked really hard on cleaning up the house because we didn't do a lot of spring cleaning this year. There was some things we needed to do. And then at the end of that, like I was just kind of done. And then our August, I never really felt I could find my footing because our schedule was just all over the place. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm sharing that even though I've been on my self-love journey, it's 18 years now, or almost, yeah, it's been, I think it's over 18 years. Even though I've been on this journey for so long, it really is a journey. We sometimes think that goals, life, everything that, here's point A, here's point B. Actually, let's go the other way for the video. Point A, point B. We want to go here and we like it's a straight line, right? We think it's or even like straight line. We want to go up though, or it feels sometimes like an uphill battle. But the thing is, we think it's a straight line. And unfortunately, it's just like this. It looks like this sometimes. Sometimes you got two journeys going on at the same time. And it's about loving yourself in the messy. And I actually was thinking about it this morning before going live. And I was thinking about my own journey. Because there's been lots of areas in my life that have really changed my course. Like just, the first one was in 2008 when my boyfriend at that time broke up with me and I was devastated. And then I really began my journey. But another one was when I started doing empowerment coaching, the program for it back in March 2013. And I was doing all this work because part of the program was we needed to heal as coaches first before we could help other people. Or at least and it was a good thing because we did the work before having other people do the work. Because if you don't walk that journey yourself, you have no idea what it looks like. And everybody's journey is unique too. But I did the writing, the healing, and things like that. And I was thinking to myself, like, when is this over? Like, I can't wait till I'm empowered. And it's just, I'm at this top, this place of done. And then I realized into this course that that's never going to happen. I had to be real with myself and honest with myself and be like, there is no end. It's a journey. And then I got overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do all this healing work all the time. But it's not like that. There's seasons. So some seasons, like for me, I was really focused on healing my body, healing my mind against these ideas that I was missing out on something because I've eliminated sugar out of my life for the most part. Now, I did celebrate with ice cream the other day, but like when it's once a month, like it's at the most. Um, and I've just come to peace with that because I know what it feels like when my body has sugar and then I'm out of commission. So I do these things from a place of love now instead of this place of like, oh, begrudgingly and like, why can other people eat this and I can't? Like there was a phase there that I was like, why am I gaining weight when I'm eating healthy, working out? The working out, by the way, was for mindset, energy, mood, because without it, I was really a hot mess and I was really not a great person to be around. And then I couldn't do anything. So that was for that. But I was in that mindset where it's like, why do I have to do all this when other people get to eat whatever they want? So I was in that season of healing my mind around those expectations, those ideas that I had, and also healing my body through the process. I am so grateful to say that, like, over, I think it was late spring, that I finally figured out something that helps again. And I'll talk more into that, but I will share because I don't want to just drop that there and just not go with, like, whatever. I found something and I'm never going to share it with you. So that thing that I found was actually, I want to share this because this is part of your self love journey too, or can be, is allowing help in. And I remember, I don't know exactly where I was mood wise. I was feeling kind of crappy. It was probably after spring break because we went to a mini vacation and we were eating at restaurants every day. And when you do that, you have a harder time controlling what's in the food. So there's always hidden sugar in everything. I've discovered that it was in fish sauce. I had to find a fish sauce that didn't have it in. So I was probably like done. My body was like feeling it from doing takeout all week long. And then the stress of not being at home and then not working out on top of that. So I was probably done and I was like, what can I do? And I just like reached, I was just talking to the universe, just talking out loud, like, what can I do? Please guide me to solutions because I'm sick of feeling this way. And then I was reminded of fasting and the life in the fasting lane. I think I had that on my audio playlist already. So it was in my library. And I just like, I'm going to listen to this again. And then I decided to get it in hard copy because I read better that way. Listening's great. I love listening to audiobooks. I do it all the time. But at the same time, reading, just I take it in a little bit more. So I got the hard copy and then I read that and then I read a few more. And I was like, right, I feel good when I'm fasting. So I've always done intermediate fasting for about, I think it's 6 or 7 years now. So I don't have breakfast. It's not a thing I do unless I'm hungry. Like maybe I've drank a little bit too much the night before or something. I have a cold and I've decided I want to have breakfast. Uh, but for the most part, I don't have breakfast. I keep my eating window in between 6 and 8 hours. And it has been that for a long time. But then I forgot about the 24-hour fasting. So, anyways, I found a solution that works great for me. So that worked for me. I'm not saying go fast. I'm just saying life is a journey, self-love is a journey, and we're gonna come across roadblocks. Heck, man, we might even fall down in a hole and have to figure out how to get back up. That's what I felt like these past few years, where I'd have really great days. I'm like, right, I feel like myself, I'm good. And then I'd have other days that I'm like, who am I? And where have I gone? And then I spent some time trying to get back to that person because I would look at old videos of myself doing coffee chat when I was putting some videos in for different things. And I'm like, oh man, where's that Jody? Where is she? And I had to come to terms with that Jody is never going to be here again. That Jody was years ago. And a lot has happened since then. I've moved across the country with my family in this beautiful place that I never have regretted that decision ever. And it just has been so great. And at the same time, I've gone through some other things. Like, so I like to, there's been like some health things. Like, thankfully, it hasn't been too bad. It was just some gut issues. And at the time, though, it felt devastating. It's like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel good? So it's taking the time. So I'm going to share very soon what you can do to start or to continue on your self love journey. Because again, it's a journey. I was actually, the other thing I was thinking about today is there's this road up here on the coast, and we don't go up there very often because it's an old logging road that they decided to pave and turn into a highway. And this highway reminds me of our journeys because it was a logging road. It's just like super curvy. We don't go up there a lot because I have some family members that get motion sickness, and it's so curvy that they actually like feel really bad, like they've been on a boat. So we don't tend to go up there, even though it's so gorgeous and awesome. But it's the same thing. Our life is that journey. Could have a tree stump in there, or like life just shows up in weird and expecting ways. Heck, man, the other thing that caused me so much grief and so much like, This school year was actually in August, we had a couple leaks in our upstairs in the kids' bathroom. One was a leak, one was an overflowed toilet. Yes, poop was literally hitting the fan. So it was raining in our living room one time, and it was raining in our kitchen. Yay, yay! Another time, and I was like, "What is going on?" So it's those moments, like it shows how much growth I've had. Though I was upset, I was furious. I'm not gonna lie, and I was even like, "What did I do in a past life for all this stuff to happen all at once?" And then once I calmed down, I realized, right, life happens, leaks happen, but it's how we show up. And it's loving ourselves in those moments. It's leaning on our family, friends for support. And it's just using those moments in life to remind us that, sometimes things don't go according to plan. And then we had another leak just 2 nights ago, I think. Our toilet, our master bedroom toilet failed. So it's just that time of year where the plumbing is going. And that's where we're at. So, it just gives us a pause and just be like, hey, how can we love ourselves in this moment? And then do some serious celebrating and other things. That life is awesome. But what I'm trying to get at in a long, crazy way is that things happen. And then it's taking that time to really just be okay with where you are. And I'm going to share those 3 things that you can do. Mm, I just realized my chat here is not the chat in my website. I was going to do a split screen. I got to set up better next time. So, 3 things. I'm hoping, like, I don't see chats here, but I'm through my YouTube channel. And then there's a chat on my website as well. Oh, the complications. I'm trying to do something different. And it's proving to be a little difficult. So anyways, but we'll get there. Everything just got to be try and be patient. Just like I had something come up last minute and that's what brought me in live. Like I came almost 10 minutes late to live. Life has a way of just keeping us on our toes sometimes. And then other times it's things are really flowing. And that was one of the biggest things with these leaks. It's like, hey, where's my mindset at? Why am I not in flow? Because sometimes things feel really good. And then the other thing I had asked myself is, what do I need to learn from this? Like, what is this trying to remind me? Because sometimes when everything is going wrong, it's the world, the universe sharing that something needs to change. And yeah, same with our colds. I'm like, oh, I knew what my cold happened and it happened over Labor Day weekend. It's because the last week before school, I was like, let's fit in every single thing we didn't do this summer. That was on me. I didn't take my own advice. So here are 3 things you can do. And sometimes we do them and sometimes we forget. And it's loving ourselves anyways. It's loving ourselves even if we don't do the things we know that are good for us. Like maybe you skip a workout or maybe you have sugar, and that's okay. It's knowing who you are or getting to know yourself better and loving yourself along the way. Scrapes and all, falls. Like I just think about all these things that have happened in my life recently. And if my kid fell down or if it happened to my own kid, I would be like surrounding them with love and supporting them. That's what we need to do for ourselves too. And have people in your life that surround you through those moments too, so you don't have to do it alone. So now, 3 things you can start doing today. I know I shared a lot and I know I'm all over the place. So 3 things you can do today or start doing is make time for yourself. I like calling it me time. Even my kids know that there's days that, they're going to the park with my husband because I need some me time. Like I make it very clear to them. And I also share that it's like, because they need me time too. They go up to their rooms, they read, they do their own thing as siblings together and apart. So we all need me time. And I'm very, very open about it with everybody in my life. So this can even be 15 to 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be a lot and it doesn't have to be anything. There are days that if I just need to hear my own thoughts, I will sit outside on the deck or the front porch or even just in my office and just be. It really depends. Like, I don't want to share a whole list of things you can do because in every moment we might need something different. And I have lots of things of how you can figure that out. We all have these cups to fill. And when we do something for others, we take something out. Like I always like analogy of like pretty rocks. We hand somebody a rock and we hand another person a rock. Or heck man, we can even do water because we really need water to survive. So you take out a cup of water for somebody, another one. But if we're not filling that bucket, that cup, whatever that vessel we want to call is, our self-love well, our well-being really, we're gonna get dehydrated and we're gonna have no energy to take care of ourselves or others in our life. So it's about filling us up. So these 15 to 30 minutes can be anything. And sometimes if I just been going with work, with the kids, in the summer, I would just like to sit and read a book or just sit outside and watch the birds flying around or listening to the eagles or the owl hooting. It was very chatty this summer, just something, anything to just be. Um, and it's just allowing yourself to slow down. In life, things are a constant go. I have two kids, ages, my oldest is almost 12, and then my youngest is 9. I had to think about that for a second. So we're constantly in a state of go. And actually, a couple years ago, no, last year, we made the decision to get them out of scouts and like empty our schedule a little bit. It was too full, where we just weren't parenting at the level we wanted to parent. And our kids weren't enjoying their childhood as much as they wanted to. I'm very, this is going to go down a different route, but I'm very, like, I'm really, what's the word I'm looking for? This is what happens. I'm live. I really believe that kids need time to be bored so they can be creative. I had a lot of free time when I was a kid, probably a little too much. But I loved that time because I daydreamed, I was creative and things like that. But giving them outlets to do that. So if they want to paint, like, oh, there's the paint, anything. And we have sketchbooks and journals. And if they want to write or draw anything, like it's all there for them and they can just do it whenever the mood strikes them. But I believe that kids need to be bored. Anyways, I've always parented from intuition, but sometimes that didn't work because I didn't. At the beginning of the school year, my intuition was broken because I had a cold. I just couldn't function, and we really needed it. But anyways, so I'm a firm believer of listening within. I do a lot of reading, a lot of research, and at the same time, I only take it as information in, and then sort it, use my intuition to guide me, and then like let the other stuff go. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So, 15 to 30 minutes just to slow down. Check in with yourself. It can even be like, what do I need right now? So a few things I do love to do that help me connect with myself when I'm, like I said, last time I just needed some just peace and quiet. But some other things that have really, like I do daily that keep me really grounded, is yoga, meditation, journaling. I don't journal daily. I'm going to be honest with you. I love journaling and I feel like there's seasons for it. If you're going through a really challenging time, I have a journal on my bedside or in the drawer. Nope, it's on the shelf. And I just use it whenever I really feel like I need a friend to chat to, but don't want to chat to anybody. So I use my journal, or if I'm just working through something, I will use it. But I haven't actually done it daily. I have tried a few times and it never stuck. But yoga, meditation, going for a walk outside, just sitting outside and being in the moment is sometimes all you need to just check in. I spent so many years running for my own emotions that I had my schedule so jam packed that there was no time for me, for even hearing my thoughts. And that was not good because then something would trigger me and I'd explode and I have no idea why. So slowing down allows us to check in for a few reasons. What do I need right now? Do I need to just have a break? Do I need to have a bubble bath? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I want a movement? Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Like it just gives us check-ins. And then it's what's going on in my mind? What thoughts are going on? Am I happy? Am I neutral? Anything. And like just checking in with yourself. And that actually goes into the next one, being mindful of your thoughts and how you treat yourself. Now, this isn't about magically making all your thoughts positive. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about just being mindful. Like, so the other day when my oldest was having a really hard time at school, I caught myself beating myself up for not being at a better place to be a better mom in that moment. I'm like, whoa, like I had to hit the phone and be like, okay, how can we move through this? And what do we need to like what does my daughter need and what do I need through this? And thankfully then we got the school counselor involved and I openly said, look, I teach from intuition, or I parent from intuition and it's broken. So I had other people guide me. And actually the moment I allowed help in, everything flowed. We ran into a teacher that my daughter really loved that had support before. Like everything just flowed. It was like really awful, really heavy, really crappy. Then I spent some time on my yoga mat doing my yoga practice and then meditated. I did tapping. I came into my office and smudged. And then I had my daughter smudge and it all works. So like it's finding what works for you, but you can't find out what works for you if you're constantly on go. So it's being mindful of your thoughts and how you treat yourself. And then when you catch yourself beating yourself up or having a negative thought, you don't have to push it away. It can just be as simple as I choose love instead of this. Or what would love do in this moment? Or how can I show myself love right now instead? It's flipping it. It's not changing it. A lot of these thoughts have been with us forever. Like when something goes wrong, I knee-jerk reaction goes, I'm a failure or I'm not good enough for this. But now I know that those thoughts are there and they definitely show up a lot less. So the more we shine light on things, the more we can shift directions with them. I hope that makes sense. Now, the last one is forgive yourself for past mistakes. And then even like, so for myself, after having this thing with the school at the beginning of the year, I had to forgive myself for overreacting or not being in a good place. Things could have went better, but they happened. And it's about growing and learning from them and forgiving yourself. And allow yourself to be who you are in this moment. You don't need fixing, you don't need changing, you don't need any of that. And to remember that you're not the same person you were a year ago or even a month ago. You're continuously growing and changing. And send yourself love and celebrate the small wins. Because you are amazing right here, right now. You really are. You're showing up. You're listening to this video or watching this video, and it's getting on a little long because I'm a little chatty today. So I apologize for that. So way to go, being here the whole time, taking care of you. So one of my favorite things to do to forgive myself is writing a letter to myself. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can be on a separate piece of paper if you want to do a burning ceremony or a bearing ceremony. But sometimes you can just write in your journal. It's there and just write, and you can just be mad. So what I start out is just sharing everything I feel about myself, life, whatever you need to get out. And then you can write, like, get that all out, get all the emotions out, and then write yourself a lovely letter. Like, there's so many different ways you can go about writing a letter. It can just be journaling your feelings, but getting it out on paper. Now you can use technology and type it out. Love pen and paper. It feels just so much more of a ritual for me, I guess, or just like it just feels, I don't know, it feels something. It feels really good to me, but you can do whatever feels right to you. It's about finding what works for you and doing that. So Those are 3 things you can do. Make some time for you. Slow down, even 15 to 30 minutes. Be mindful of your thoughts and how you're treating yourself. And this doesn't take a lot of time. It can just be just being a little bit more aware every day. And then when you are aware, or if there's something that you're literally reliving in your head, like you have a thought over and over, like, I wish I didn't do this, or you keep coming back to something, it's time to look at that thing that you can't forget. You forgive yourself and try to forgive yourself for past mistakes. Because mistakes, like we talk in our house, like mistakes and failure, that isn't so much a thing. Our kids have a hard time with this, but my husband and I are like, it's not failing unless you fail to see the lesson in things. But it's about learning, falling. And actually, my husband just said the other day to our kids, the best way to learn is to fail. And it's so true. And it's not, I don't even love bringing up the word failing because it's not really failing in my mind. You just learned and it didn't work out yet, but you continue and you keep trying. Like I failed to show up today on time. I'm like, okay. So I've learned a lot from this first video chat, or sorry, this first coffee chat back. Like, whoa, wait a second. I have a few things I need to iron out, and that's okay. And I'm hoping that this has went onto my website on the Cozy Corner, but I don't know if it did. I don't have a team of people to have my back. So it's me, and hopefully it's working out. I'm having a little faith here. And if it didn't, I will do better next time. I'll try and keep it shorter too. I'm trying to do about half an hour, anything between 15 and 20 minutes up to a half an hour. So I'm already going over. I really thought I was like, woke up this morning going, oh, it's going to have to be short because I have this cough and things like that. But here I am chatting away. Anyways, so slow down and take care of you. And remember that self-love is a journey. It really is. It's not a straight line. And in general, life isn't a straight line. Things are gonna happen, might rain in your kitchen from the ceiling or the living room. And it's gonna happen sometimes. I hope it doesn't happen anymore. But anyways, things happen. And it's how do we pivot? How do we love ourselves in those moments? Our kids shined so bright in those moments. They learned how to turn off the water on the toilet. They got rags, they got towels. Like it was a really great show of support, teamwork in our family. So we took those moments. Like there is a lot of like running around. Our house is kind of big, so getting the whole house water turned off, it have to run down pretty far to get it turned off, but like the main water source. But anyway, it was teamwork, and we just after those moments like, okay, what can we learn from this and how can we do differently, but celebrating the small wins along the way, because now our kids know how to turn a toilet off in case it overflows. So small wins. And then hopefully when they have their own house, then they know how to do more plumbing. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Or if you're not here, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. This is my first time going live on YouTube, and then I'm going through my website. So please bear with me on this beautiful, fun, in fun adventure. Uh, and I didn't sleep well because I was nervous about going live. So good times. See, I'm human too. We all have these moments, and it's about embracing them and loving ourselves where we are. Now, I'm going to join you again for coffee, same place, same time I'm just checking because I forgot to look earlier, October 16th. So it's normally going to be the third Thursday of the month, except in December because I don't want to have it too close to the holiday season, because I usually take a little time off so I can just be before the chaos of 2 weeks off with the kiddos. So anyway, thank you again. If you're watching this later, thank you so much for being here live or afterwards. And I really hope that we can have more conversations. If you think of a topic that you really want me to talk about or have questions that you'd like me to answer, this is a perfect time to reach out either via email, info@jodymisiak.com. Hold on, that's not it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. info@jodymisiak.com. Or you go on my website and there's a contact form there as well. So jodymisiak.com. And I would happily share. There's also a chat function on, I never mentioned this at the beginning because I don't see that function from where I am recording and going live here. And I just realized, so I'm just checking something. Hopefully, I am recording this as well. Anyways, oh, fun finds. Anyways, okay. So, lost my train of thought. Let me find it. There's also a chat function on my website. It says chat with us. I think that's what I have it say. And you can go on there even after hours. You can punch in your questions. I won't be responding except on Thursdays. Um, but those are all those questions will be there. So if you have a question, you can even just throw it in the chat on the Cozy Corner page. Hopefully that makes sense. As we go, I will hopefully articulate this a little bit better. Thank you again for being here. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope your September is going a little bit more smoothly than mine. But if it's not, remember that these are the moments that, um, can strengthen us and make us stronger. Again, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Take care. Bye for now.